This is the AEMS Max. It's Holosun's new giant red dot, and if you're looking to maximize your window size in a red dot, this is the dot for you. When Holosun released this, people thought it was comically large, and it is a massive red dot. But that being said, there are some specific use cases for this optic where it truly shines and outclasses anything else. The AEMS Max is a variant of Holosun's AEMS optic line, as you can see right here. Holosun took their AEMS style and essentially just made it bigger in general, and there are a lot of variables that are the same with these two optics, the main difference being some sizing constraints and the size of the window. The AEMS is already a proven optic in general, so we can talk about a lot of those features as them being additions to the AEMS Max. The AEMS Max features a lot of variables that are standard for Holosun across the board, especially on their AEMS line. In terms of housing design, you'll see it has flip covers on the front and the back. The buttons are in the same place as the AEMS. They're nice and easy to use, easy to press, easy to know which one is which. Really hard to go wrong there. The turrets for zeroing are in convenient positions as well, and they don't have caps on them, but they're recessed, so you're probably not going to break them very easily. The mount is a new style for Holosun. Yes, it is the AEMS footprint, but a much larger version of that, and the mount is attached directly to the red dot, which converts that to a Picatinny mounting system using a QD latch. There is an integrated solar panel in the top of this red dot. Some people care about solar, some people don't, but all of the AEMS Maxes come with a solar panel in them. In terms of settings on the unit itself, they are the exact same as the AEMS line, and the AEMS has some pretty good settings. There are 12 total settings, 8 of them are daylight, and 4 of them are night vision. The night vision ones are important, and we'll get to that later. The reticle is the same. You have a large circle with a dot in the middle, and you can change between those reticles, which is a multi-reticle system, depending on which one you want, which is also incredibly important, specifically for AEMS application of the AEMS Max. You have a choice of red and green colors for your reticle, and the parallax on this unit, while it is noticeable, is not the worst that I have seen. Parallax in general increases with window size. As you move your head side to side, you might see that reticle shift on target, and what that tells us is that this might not be the choice for long-range precise shots. However, it really shines in some other areas. The AEMS Max in its standard variation comes at a height of 1.41 inches or a absolute co-witness. Absolute co-witness means that when you have iron sights on your build, they will be lined up with the reticle. This is the exact same height as the EOTech 512 and XPS line, but the regular AEMS from Holosun has a higher, it is at a lower 1/3 mount. This is because the window size on it is smaller, but the unit size is the exact same, and that brings that reticle up. Mount heights can be changed with simple risers, so if you do want to rise this up to a higher height because maybe you want to clear a night vision laser, which this will have a hard time doing, you can just get a Picatinny riser and bring this red dot up. And if you would like to get a Picatinny riser, you can go to the link in the description, defensedistributors.com. Now let's get into the specific pros of the AEMS Max and why you would want it on your build as opposed to a different style of red dot. The AEMS Max has a massive window size, and I really can't state that enough. It is double the surface area window size of the AEMS and the EOTech, which is interesting because EOTech has been praised in the industry as having a very large window for CQB scenarios and more situational awareness, and the AEMS Max window size blows it out of the water. There are some specific setups that I think the AEMS Max really excels in, and if you're building one of these out, you might want to think about getting a red dot like this for your build. One of those being short range and CQB. This has a tremendous amount of situational awareness that is added because of the window size. Now in CQB, you don't want to get sucked down into your red dot. That's another matter entirely, but for short range in general, you want to have situational awareness, and having a lot less housing blocking your view can really help with that, can help with faster target acquisition. There are some benefits for a larger window size with CQB, which is why you'll see a lot of people running EOTechs for CQB or short range. The AEMS Max performs incredibly well for passive aiming with night vision. Passive aiming is when I am looking through my red dot with my night vision and not using an adjacent laser or an illumination device. When you're looking through with night vision, it's difficult to focus on the target and the red dot at the same time, but any of that extra housing on that red dot is going to become blurry. And if you're using a smaller red dot like the AEMS right here, that blur is going to become a lot closer to your window of view, and it's going to be way harder to see your target through the red dot, especially if you're using a binocular. Now the AEMS already has a lot of praise for its night vision performance, but the AEMS Max takes those exact same settings and makes the housing and window size way bigger, which means less mess getting in your field of view. Because of this, I think the AEMS Max is an excellent candidate for passive aiming with night vision. The AEMS Max can serve a really important role on a shotgun if you do intend to mount a red dot on your shotgun. Because of the huge window size of the AEMS Max and because of its different reticle settings, I can easily select a reticle that fits a shotgun pattern well, and because the pattern of a shotgun will hit at closer ranges, this optic fits really well because the cons of this unit specifically aren't going to affect me at that distance. And having that extra window size, again, really helps for situational awareness and better field of view. And the AEMS Max fits very well in an auto rifle setup. An auto rifle is essentially a rifle that is made to sustain high rates of fire. Maybe you're putting a FRT in there or a super safety or something of that nature. Maybe you're just running a saw. I don't know what you have. But in terms of higher rates of fire, you're going to want situational awareness. Generally, your distances aren't going to require precise shots on target at distances that would require magnification. If they do, choose another optic. Don't look at this. But if you're expecting to be engaging at high rates of fire at distances that don't require magnification, this is an incredible option for that role because of that situational awareness. And if you do need magnification, you can always pair this with the magnifier, and now you're getting the best of both worlds. There is one type of setup specifically that if you're considering, I would not put this on, and that is the long-range precision setup. The AEMS Max excels in close-range operations, but at distance, that parallax is definitely going to become more noticeable. I would highly consider in that case you get a magnified optic with a better reticle. But that being said, if you're using any of those closer applications that I talked about, the AEMS Max is an incredible option for that and should definitely be in your considerations. It is the biggest red dot you're going to find of its type, and it's currently available at around EOTech pricing, which is pretty impressive. In some cases, even less than your higher end EOTech models. And if you want to check out that pricing, see what it's at right now, pick one up for yourself, you can head to the link in the description, defensedistributors.com. And there's a whole other host of accessories you can use with this: Picatinny risers, magnifiers, ARDs. And if you want any of those as well, you can also head to defensedistributors.com.